Hey everybody, this is Jackie Bolin from ESLspeaking.org. So today I'm going to talk about my top 5 brainstorming activities. So you can use some of these activities for people who aren't English learners, but this video is actually intended for ESL or EFL teachers. Alright, so my first brainstorming activity is word association. So this is just one of those simple mind map things that I'm sure you've done before. So you start with a word in the center, and I always put a circle around it, and then I just have students shout out words and kind of make a tree and make a mind map related to those words. You can also have students do this in small groups. This is particularly good if you're talking about something like, say, the weather or a holiday, and you're sure that students know a lot of the vocabulary already. It can be a nice way to help them activate their prior knowledge about that. All right, the second one is the alphabet game. So I put students into pairs and I have them on a piece of paper write down the alphabet at the top. So A, B, C, D, all the way down to Z. And then I give them a topic, say like animals or jobs, food and drink, etc. And they have to come up with one word for each of those things that starts with a letter. So for example, animals, maybe they don't know an A one, they can just skip it. Maybe then bat, cat, dog, fish, gorilla, tiger, etc. So this is kind of a quick game. I usually allow 1 to 2 minutes, and the team with the most number of words is the winner. So for more advanced level or higher level students, to make it a bit more interesting, I challenge students to use more interesting words. So the way I do this is that they don't get a point if there's another group in the class that has the same word. All right, number 3. So name 5 things. So this is a super quick activity. So I will just get my students to get a piece of paper and a pen, and then I will say name 5 foods, name 5 drinks, name 5 animals, etc. And they just have to write them down really quickly. All right, number 4 is storm the whiteboard. So this is better for smaller classes than bigger classes. Bigger classes, it's not quite student-centered enough, and there just isn't really enough action. But for classes, say up to 12 or even like 15 students, it can work quite well. So I divide students into maybe 3 or 4 teams, and then I will give each team a category, a different category, usually jobs, animals, foods, etc. And then they have to, the first student from each team, I'll give them a whiteboard marker, and they have to run up to the whiteboard and write down one word from that category, then run to the next person in their team and give them the marker, and they have to go to the board and write. To prevent running and kind of chaos and disaster, I generally have the students line up behind their first person behind the whiteboard in line. So it's a little bit more orderly in that way. All right, and then I keep going generally until maybe like the first team has 10. And then we can switch categories for another round. All right, the next one is shout it out. So I will put students into teams. This one also works better for smaller classes than bigger classes, as it can get kind of out of control with bigger classes and too much yelling. But I put students into teams of say 3 or 4, and then each round is 1 minute long. So I will give the first team, they have 1 minute, and I'll say, okay, shout it out, animals. And they can yell out as many animals as they can, and I will just write them very, very quickly on the board. And then we count up how many points they have after that round, and then all the other teams get a chance to play with different categories, and yeah, you can play another round or 2 if you'd like. All right, so those are my top 5 brainstorming activities. If you like this video, please hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'd really appreciate that. All right, everybody, thank you very much. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.